Hi, my name is Lyle Wilds, and sometimes life defines a role that's just too compelling to ignore. My role is as a brain coach. And as a brain coach, I'd just like you to think that I spent 20 years of my life growing up, 20 years of my life messed up, and 20 years of my life locked up. But I never gave up, and I knew that if I didn't change my brain, I was probably going to remain in prison or return back to prison again. So I know that if I'm in prison for 20 years, my community does not trust the way my brain works. And if I leave it on automatic pilot, I'm in trouble. So I would just like you to think for a moment that our brains, neurologists tell us, have 60,000 thoughts a day. And 95% of those thoughts are the same every day. So if we don't take it off of automatic pilot, it's going to keep repeating the same behaviors even if the situations change. So when I decided that I had to do something about my brain, I realized that I'm not my brain and that I can change my brain. So I decided that I would look for a word that would describe that process, and I call it coaching my brain. So I have to build a relationship with my brain if I'm going to coach it. And if you're going to coach your brain to change your brain to do something different, you're going to have to build a healthy relationship with your brain. And if we're going to build a healthy relationship with our brains, there's a couple of things we have to think about. First of all, our brain has to have the ability to change. And to have the ability to change, neurologists tell us that our brain has a plasticity to it, which is different than an elasticity, but it's plasticity, allowing it to change. So you may have known some names years ago that you forgot, but you've got some new names now, which means that your brain can let go of things and can grab onto new things and learn them. That's the art of plasticity. And so in order for us to change, our brain has to have plasticity, and we must build a healthy relationship with our brains. Now, if we are going to coach our brains, what are we going to coach it to do? And I suggest that we coach our brains to learn the art of loving. And the art of loving, I'd like to think of some examples that would be for us to understand. So the art of loving would be for us to love ourselves, to love others, and to love this planet that we live on. And if we can love the planet, it'll be sustainable, it'll remain healthy, and we will be able to survive. To build a relationship with others and to love others gives us a joy, because excitement comes in our interaction with other people. And if we love ourselves, it gives us possibilities and opportunities that we would not have if we didn't love ourselves. So when we think about love, I'd like you to think about water. Water is really an interesting thing when it comes to the art of loving. And in particular, just think of Lake Superior. Lake Superior is transparent. It allows you to look into it. It allows you to research it. It has no secrets from us. It will give up anything that it has. It has no secrets and is totally transparent. So as a brain coach, I suggest that we allow our brains to be transparent. Let's learn what it thinks about. Let's research it. Let's discover it. Let's understand it much better. And Lake Superior is powerful. Even though the surface of it may be rough and it may be waving and it may be powerful, but at the very core of that lake, it is calm, it is powerful, and it is relaxed. And I will say that if we could take our brains and keep them calm at the very center of our lives, no matter how rough it gets on the outside, we would be able to manage our lives, even though it looks like we're being hijacked. Lake Superior is also inviting. If you were to come over the hill in Duluth, Minnesota, and see Lake Superior, the first thing you want to do is go down by its shoreline. And I can't begin to tell you how many people I have seen walking, fathers with their sons, sticks in their hands, jabbing it in the sand, walking along the shoreline as they're discussing the problems in life, or they're philosophizing, or just having some ideas. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, mothers and sons, fathers and daughters, all are invited to walk on the shoreline of Lake Superior and talk about life. But another thing I've noticed is that when families go down on the shoreline and they sit in front of Lake Superior, no one sits with their back to it. Everyone sits with their face to Lake Superior, admiring its beauty and its wonder. There are many species and plants in Lake Superior. It's a home, it's a house where other animals and plants live. And when we enter it, we should be very careful because we're entering the home of many other species. Lake Superior is also reflective. Just look at it. It reflects the sky, it reflects the sunrise, and even in the evening when it's quiet and there's a full moon, it reflects the moon off its surface. And sitting in front of Lake Superior, loving and loving and loving, we can see that the moon is being reflected and causes us to be very pensive and wonder about our own existence. And I will tell you that Lake Superior is truly loving. I can't begin to tell you how many people, all the people probably who have been listening to this, may have sat on the edge of Lake Superior or some other lake and told your story to that lake. Told about the broken dreams, told about the new dreams, told about the wonderful things that's happened in your life. And Lake Superior just sits there and slaps against the shore and says, tell me more about your life. Lake Superior has no secrets, folks, but it has heard all of ours. Let our lives be an example of Lake Superior. Transparent, powerful and calm, inviting, reflecting, and loving. And anytime you look at Lake Superior, you can see a different picture with the same borders around the sides. Lake Superior reflects the love it has for us, and we should have that kind of love for ourselves, for others, and our planet.